Welcome to those who have joined us all here on a beautiful, clear evening. The conditions contributing to a fantastic atmosphere in the stands. This really is the place to be. Well, I'm Peter Drury, and I'm joined in the commentary box by the familiar figure of Jim Begley.
Hello, Peter, and hello to everyone watching. For me, it's a real thrill to be here.
There's nothing quite like match day, especially here. This crowd doesn't do ordinary, and we should be in. He gets. And the assistant referee has his flag raised for offside. South Korea looking to pass their way through. Well, that's well spotted.
For the ultimate model of consistency and longevity, there is the perfect example in front of him.
And Batistuta! It's there!
Well, they would have been looking at him to produce the goods, and that was very kind of him to oblige so early.
And that is fabulous! A true beauty of a goal.
And you can see he meant every bit of that, Peter. He had his head up as he went to hit it. He knew his landscape.
So the game's first significant moment, and it's come earlier than perhaps we anticipated. No, that's been intercepted. Van Dijk. Looking for options for movement. Oh, that looks a cracking ball. A slightly better ball would have led to a very different outcome there.
Brazil clearly didn't help themselves by telegraphing that one. It was always going to be intercepted.
Mateus, and it's Albert Ferrer. That is a great pick out. Saliba. Batistuta. And that's been slipped through. Well, that defending is unapologetically persistent. It's almost personal, and it had to be.
That appeared to be an inevitable outcome. Too much traffic.
Albert Ferrer. That looks a good ball through. Short changes him with that pass. Oh, played through for the wide man. And he's there to get it away.
Well, height could make all the difference on these set pieces.
He's got tall. He's missed, but not by that far.
Batistuta is clearly kicking himself here. He knew that was a great opportunity. South Korea really can't go chasing this game too soon. Any rash decisions now could see them lose it.
Looking for the run. Rafael Leao providing an outlet on that flank. And it's Neymar. He is just caressing the ball. That is ended up in no man's land. Oh, it's come loose. De Bruyne plays the game a step ahead of almost anyone. Now then, the ball's come loose. Neymar showed plenty of zest in getting to the ball, but couldn't quite sort it out. And this is Batistuta. Real chance! That's a decent clearance. Brazil look happy to sit back for the moment here.
Yeah, everything they're doing screams counter-attack, but it's a long counter-attack. When they win it back, they're not wasting any time. They're just trying to get the runners away as quickly as possible.
Puskas. And here's Batistuta. Neymar. Now it's Puskas. Now it's Batistuta. Now it's Neymar. And here's Neymar. A reprieve, albeit perhaps momentary. Rodri kept aware, and it is reclaimed easily. That's a little off target. Played back in. That has been slung wide. Just eases him off the ball. Well, the movement is slick, the speed is slippery. The defence, though, able to hold on this time. Puskás! That was superb goalkeeping.
Puskás actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest.
Tries to get it clear.
Okay, being behind at the break isn't ideal, but there's plenty of time to reply.
Mateus, and it's Rodri. Neymar has an approach to the game which is pretty much shoot on sight. Mateus. Cross deflected over the goal line for a corner. South Korea have their second corner now. And he's cut it out. Rijkaard is there and he can get that clear. Mateus. Now it's Rafael Leao. Knocks it out wide. Alba Ferrer delivers.
They'll want to make the most of this turnover.
And here's Rafael Leao. And the shot! And kept out by the most elastic of saves.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that.
This possibly the last play of the half. Bastoni with the clearance. Batistuta looking understandably energised after his goal. Zanetti. Spread neatly. Albert Ferrer gets over and into... Referee's had a look, and he's blown his whistle for half-time. A very combative, competitive half with just the one decisive moment. It's been compelling stuff.
Yeah, you don't get any points for stating the obvious, Peter, but thankfully this is still very savable. Keep things simple, keep the intensity high, and hope for an early goal. If that happens, it's a game changer.
And the action is back on the way.
South Korea can really do with some bigger names standing up here. At times they didn't even look as if they knew what they were doing.
Oh, now here's an interesting matchup. Out to the right. De Bruyne. That is good alertness. Rafael Leao. And here's Batistuta. No, again there's no way through. De Bruyne. And it's Carvajal. And this is shoots! They want to be quick to recover this. Delivery from... He rises! No, couldn't quite control it.
Look, the defending wasn't too clever on that last chance. The cross had to be denied.
Corner number 2 then. There's the header! And now they can clear their lines. South Korea have the chance to go the other way. Rodri proves too strong. Mateus still chasing the game, trailing by 1. South Korea couldn't do a whole lot with it there. They could do with more sharpness in their passing. Neymar. Now that is a hefty challenge. South Korea can breathe again, just.
Yeah, they showed a vulnerability until the move was stifled. That'll have stirred a little concern.
Brazil are looking to play on the counter here, aren't they?
Well, I think it's pretty clear they've changed their shape, certainly when defending at least, because they've got to be ready to hit them hard on the counter-attack, and that seems to be the plan.
Rijkaard is always looking to break lines. De Bruyne.
Yeah, we get to see this more and more. Defenders popping up in these positions.
It's Neymar! Oh, that was a brilliant save.
Yeah, he was well placed to deal with that.
Brazil have their third corner. Last-ditch defending, but that'll do. And now they can spring out of defence. Now it's Neymar. Well, for a moment you felt that was going somewhere, but they'll have to go again. Good chance here! That carried quite a threat. Nicely shaped ball. It's a pretty loose pass.
That's exactly what they need to keep doing. Carry on plugging away and eventually you might just get that little break.
There is an irresistible, irrepressible look about them here.
Well, the question now is whether they can sustain it.
Tries to pass it through. Neymar has it in a wide position. Not the most convincing of passes.
How many interceptions have we seen now? Someone's got to up the quality and set an example.
Albert Ferrer, defending his corner stubbornly, stood up very well to his man. Now he's got space here.
That's positional gold, the utilisation of space. Keep calm and carry on. That's the job in a nutshell now.
Van Dijk promptly onto that, and that is that. And it's Neymar. Rodri. They get a throw in.
Substituição no time do Brasil. Camisa 8, camisa 9. Deixando o campo para a entrada de camisa 19, camisa 21. Substituição.
Shot at goal! Zola! And that could have brought them level.
Well, the lead may be fragile, but the keeper was focused and strong.
South Korea get their fourth corner. And he's cleared it out of harm's way. Zola. Oh, that's wonderful alertness.
Look, this is so frustrating. Passing without any end product is just passing time.
And it's Neymar. And this is Zola. Oh, it's Cristiano Ronaldo! Loose ball now, and there's a chase on to retrieve it. And he's straight offside.
South Korea really can only do one thing now, Peter. Get the ball up front, make sure it sticks, and sustain some pressure.
Zola. Plays a sharp little ball here. Played in by Albert Ferrer. Keeper has taken decisive action.
South Korea really aren't making anything meaningful of their time on the ball.
Neymar. Now here's the terrific header. And the header is disappointing in the end.
You really could have done with engaging those crossers much higher up the pitch there. This isn't good defending. Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
Defending of the desperate variety. Zola! World class from Zola! A finish of true class! They have stolen level at the last! Stylish. And the referee brings it to a close. A good watch, a really good watch. Both sides toiling to try and outthink, outsmart each other. But it wasn't to be, and they're all square. So what do you take away from it all, Jim?
Listen, the more this game went on, a draw was always likely to be on the card. So overall, I don't think anyone will be complaining too much about what they've got.
So thank you very much, Jim, for joining me. That brings us to the end of our coverage. So from us both, a very good evening.